Live streaming is on.
All right, got microphone on. I think I gotta go to. Here's Jitsi. ASI. So let's check YouTube. All right, I have to get my link. All right, so now we're tracking. Should be good. So let's see. Have my dock. All right, I'm gonna test it, see what it shows on my phone. That looks good. All right, that's nice. Okay, so I can't see the live chat. I'll have to have another device up to monitor the chat on YouTube. And I'm going to maybe invite somebody. Let me stop sharing the screen for a moment. Yeah, it really slows down the laptop when I I'm just going to share my link to social media to get some people in on this. Now I can start sharing my screen again. Entire screen, and go back to ASI. All right, let's see if I can remember which way to move this. All right, now I'm gonna go get my iPad. I'll be right back. All right, so let's see what we got here. I may have to adjust the view here in a second, but I want to get Moon Globe open. I mean, we got Theophilus, Cyrillus, and Caterina, the most obvious craters tonight. Let's see if I can move them around. Nope, other way. And we'll see how it tracks after this. It'll catch up here in a minute. Let me see. Let me speed it up a little bit. Whoop, too much. Wrong way. All right. Let's see how it tracks. I don't know if anybody's joined the Jitsi yet. But so essentially what I've done is I've set up a Jitsi meeting, and within Jitsi you can share live to YouTube with a stream key, just like you kind of do with OBS, right? And this allows me to share my screen, run a meeting. Hopefully I have somebody join in and serve as backup to answer questions, because I can't check the chat. But yeah, that's a really good view of, what is it? Theophilus, Cyrillus, and Caterina. And actually right here we've got the Lunar S. I don't think we have a Lunar X tonight. That's actually a good question. Let's see. I want to go that way, and I want to bring it up. I'm not seeing a Lunar X. It's usually over in here. We're not quite to that phase yet. So let's see. Yeah, not in a bad view tonight. I'm sorry about the screen flicker. That's probably an issue with the USB throughput to the camera. I'm just going to get a few more apps open so I have references here. Let's go to today. So we're at waxing crescent. The moon is around 227,000 miles away, 7 days old. It's not going to set until about 11:42 tonight, but I've got a decent view here off my balcony for a little while. And with this line right here is the terminator. If you ever get a chance to look up while I'm live streaming, most of the time the view is going to be flipped. So if you look up right now, the moon illuminated side is on the right. And I think actually I've got it set up in ASICAP to adjust for that difference. And I've got kids running around down on the sidewalk, so I apologize for the noise. Let's see. I'm going to check social media to see if anybody got in on the live stream. Make sure that's viewable by my friends. Yeah. All right. I'm going to copy the YouTube link here so I can share it on social media here. But yeah, we're looking at waxing crescent, and this is Mare nectaris with Theophilus, Cyrillus, and Caterina. Kind of a prominent area that people like to show on the moon. And Theophilus is about 110 kilometers across, to give you some idea as to how big these craters are. All right, let me copy the link here. I'm going to post it to my Facebook page. This crater actually right here, I always like the name Fracastorius, named after Girolamo Fracastoro, who's an Italian doctor and astronomer. These two craters are about the same diameter. Of course, these two are roughly the same diameter, but you can tell that this one's probably older than this one and then this one. The brighter areas on the moon are younger areas. It's where impact ejecta got scattered out. See if I see anything else that's interesting. Then I'll move over here because there are some things in the Sea of Tranquility over here that might be worth looking at, and Serenity beyond that. And then maybe we'll bounce around the South Highlands over here after that. Let's see. Let me quickly what have they done to the Facebook page app? All right. The one thing is, I don't know if I have to let people in Jitsi. They should be able to join. This chat. But like I said, I can't monitor chat on YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube, I apologize. It's not easy to go between the two. Let's see what it's saying here. 2 concurrent viewers. Not sure who that's going to be, but anyway. Let me bounce over here to tranquility and serenity. So, Sea of Tranquility, Sea of Serenity, or Mare Serenitatis and Tranquillitatis. And a really neat crater along Serenity, this Poseidonus. The rim always fascinates me. I wonder if I can zoom in on this. And then you've got this little craterlet in the middle, and some craters that formed along the rim. And of course, you got Aristoteles and Eudoxus over here. And then I forget the two over here, but Atlas and Hercules over here. So Atlas, Hercules, craters. It's drifting. Okay, and then you've got the edge of a mountain range is starting. It wants to come out. But right along here, good spot along the terminator. Looks like I am getting some drift after a while. I'm trying to keep some of this stuff in view. But this little crater here, I'll have to look at the name, but you can see the impact ejecta going out away from it. So what happened is, you know, this stuff formed, and then later on, something slammed into the moon and blew up all this material that got blasted out in rays out away from the crater. Like I said earlier, this is the Lunar S. Not its official name, of course. It's a lunar feature that is shaped from Mons Penck, P-E-N-C-K, and Kant crater, as in Immanuel Kant, deontology, right? Categorical imperative, that Immanuel Kant. But it looks like an S, just because of the way the light hits it. Further back, there's a lunar V in the probably the next phase of the moon. And over here, there usually is a feature called the lunar X that I like to pinpoint. But neither one of those are visible tonight. So I'm gonna switch it up to show the South Highlands here, because it's a heavily cratered region. Yeah, there you go. Look at all this. So this happened in the heavy bombardment. You know, we're talking 3-4 billion years ago. Just all these craters just pummeled. The moon got pummeled. Of course, we got hit too. I'd love to see, you know, that in real time. Imagine being on the surface of the moon and watching all this come at you. You know, we're talking about this asteroid that's making close approach to Earth, you know, and we're thinking about how much damage that might cause should it ever slam into our planet. But, you know, there's no atmosphere up here, and so there's nothing really to burn up anything as it comes in, and it's just going to plow right into the moon. Actually, what will be interesting to see is if anybody joins the Jitsi, if their audio will come through. Let me see. I shouldn't have to let people in. Am I getting a... Yeah. Let this drift around a little bit, but I just wanted to test it out, show the moon tonight. Let me pull it up on YouTube and see what's going on. All right, so less of a delay. When I do it with OBS, I think there's about a 30-second delay, which I don't really like. With Jitsi, it's maybe 2 seconds or so, so that's really handy. I have to watch my battery on the laptop too. Whoop, other way. Bring it down. Oh. And you can see these peaks in the middle of the craters, and that's sort of a rebound effect. And the easiest way to explain it is if you've ever, watched a drop of water hit a pond, it rebounds up before it ripples out, and essentially that's what you get after the impact. You get this big asteroid, whatever object, slams into the moon, and the surface rebounds up in the middle and forms a peak. And these central peaks can be, a mile or two high sometimes. And so I always, keep that in mind when I'm looking at the moon. It's so far away, but these craters are just massive objects. And of course, the mares are even bigger. You got this nice wall along here. Should be Rupes Altai, I think. Yeah. And Rupes means scarp. It's a long, steep slope or cliff. And these mountains are actually named after the Altai Mountains. I'm not sure where they are. Anybody's welcome to chime in and tell me where these Altai Mountains are on Earth. It's just like the Apennines in Italy. They're Montes Apenninus over here. And then probably another 3 nights, you should be able to see it. Actually, I don't know if I can get Jupiter in view. I've got the corner post of my balcony in the way. I could get Saturn if I wanted to. I'll just stick with the moon for now because I'm tracking so well. Switch it back to, all right, bring her up. Let's see. Sorry about this. It's a little counterintuitive when I move the scope. It's just the way I've got the camera positioned. It's not lined up with, left, right, up, down with the scope. What was that sound? Who joined? Oh, Lindsay's on here. Lindsay, can you say something to see if, I'm curious if it comes through in the audio on YouTube. Let me get on YouTube here for a second, because I'm sharing to Jitsi, and I don't know if the audio from Jitsi goes across on YouTube. So if you want to unmute your mic. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so apparently the audio is going to YouTube, but it's not going to Jitsi. Here's my echo. So let me, here's Jitsi. All right. I don't know if you can hear me. This is why I'm testing it out. All right. Well, I know I can hear it on YouTube. I just can't hear it on Jitsi. So I don't know why Jitsi's not working. There's screen sharing. All Microphones, default. There's built-in. I mean, I guess I could use the built-in microphone. Both seem to be working. Okay, so that works. All right. We'll see what we can do here. Turn on your desktop, it'd be a different story. All right, can you hear me? Nothing? You can hear me? All right, you unmute yourself. See if I can hear you. All right, I hear something.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. All right, let me see if you're coming through on YouTube. Yep.
Okay.
All right, so that works. Yep. Because the way Jitsi Meet works, you know, I'd like to have somebody like Scott or Ben backing me up. And this way somebody can answer questions, field questions from either the YouTube chat or somewhere else, and answer it over audio.
Yeah, good idea. Your audio is coming through pretty good.
Yeah, I've
it
got
gave me the option to use the app or to open in the web. But when I opened it in the web, I mean, I could see it fine, but it didn't allow audio, or it didn't allow me to hear your audio.
Okay, that could be because it was on a mobile device and not on a computer.
Maybe, but it just took like 5 seconds to download the app.
Right. It makes a weird whoosh sound when somebody joins too.
Oh, okay.
You see that? See, and so you're, you know, there's your video. But this way I can kind of conduct a nice little outreach session and get other people involved.
Okay.
Yeah, I may message Scott or Ben and see if they can get on and test it out.
Yeah, has anyone else joined on yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good.
So, and the tracking is spotty, but now it seems to have leveled out. But the thing is, when I showed the sun, the detail wasn't that great.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I want to see what the moon looks like on Jitsi. And so what I can do is, when I'm done with this, it should save on YouTube. And then I can go back. All right, Scott's messaging me. Let me answer his.
Okay.
But I can go back and look at the video quality and then see if it's worth showing. Because when I showed the sun, I couldn't get the granulation to show up quite so well.
Okay. I mean, the moon looks pretty good, but it's on my phone.
Yeah.
It looks better on the laptop. Yeah.
So let me reply to him.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here.
Okay. I hear noise.
Yeah, that's probably my mic.
Ah, okay. Yep, so there you are. But yeah, here's, of course I'm bar load, so it's a narrower field of view, but when I'm tracking, I think it looks good. Lindsay was saying it looks clear.
It looks pretty good.
Okay.
Some of that might just be the resolution on the video. You can you can change the resolution for Jitsi. There's some.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so but I think that's going to cap out at like 720.
Okay.
But it looks pretty good in terms of being able to point out features of the moon. And
Yeah.
a really nice one with the.
I mean, we got
yeah.
But we got Theophilus, Cyrillus, and Katerina here, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I always love that one. I don't think it's time for the Lunar X yet.
No, I was looking. It's down here. But we have Lunar S right there. Is my mouse pointer showing up then?
Yeah, the mouse pointer.
Okay.
That's the all the beauty of this is going pretty well. I think that the main thing is that if you share the app screen instead of like sharing your entire screen,
right,
slow things down, so you get a delay.
Okay.
But it seems like we're getting pretty good live feedback. I have no idea what this is looking like on the live stream.
Yeah, and so I've got YouTube going, and it like I loaded it on my phone, and there's maybe a second or two delay.
Okay, so that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So this looks like we could actually do some work on this if we wanted to.
Yep.
Actually, part of my problem is I've got the screen thing on that's dimming stuff. But I'm not sure why you're sort of at an angle. It looks like it's only showing part of the program. Maybe if you maximize that.
Oh, really? It's only showing like, because ASI's got the moon, and then the camera controls on the right, so you can't see over here.
Like, hold on. I'm gonna send you a message in the text chat.
Okay. On Jitsi or?
Oh no, just
Messenger.
Messenger.
Okay.
I've been having some trouble with my phone is going. All the data for my phone is going bad, so I'm struggling.
All right, let's see what we got here.
See, that's what it kind of looks like with it's cut off in the top corner.
Interesting.
And I'm wondering if that's what your screen looks like, or maybe maybe you do need to run the full program, because I don't think we were having this trouble with Caparata the other night.
Okay.
He was getting full screen.
What if so I just went
like maximize the window if you can.
Yeah, I just did that. So can you see the plus in ASI Studio or not? The plus minus magnifying glasses? Actually, I don't even see that on here.
I can see the plus minus on the magnifying glasses, but the right side of the...
Yeah, that's cropped all the way to the right.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the left side is. I wonder if it shouldn't have anything to do with what Jitsi's.
Maybe try streaming just the app and let's see if that slows things down too much. I know it slowed it down for us when we were playing.
Well, I tried actually doing that. When you select screen sharing, and it's like if I stop, so I say share my screen, and it says application window.
That's screen.
And it only gives me Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find out if I can even select ASI cap as a.
It should be. It's bring up the Try.
Let me do something here because I maximized it. Let me put it in the same. There may be a reason why. There we go. Entire. Well, there it is. So that share. How about now?
That's good. That's got the full screen going now.
Okay.
Um,
So if I've got ASI, so if I switch to Chrome, you can't see me in Chrome. It's still showing ASI.
yeah. Right now,
Okay.
a full screen of ASI with the text boxes in the corner.
Okay, because that'll help keep some level of privacy. Because when I go back to sharing, it shows my my YouTube live stream window. It shows my Jitsi meeting window.
Yeah.
Anything that's open, it'll show. And so this way I can limit the access.
Well, the main thing that I was worried about with streaming just the app is, like I said, there was some lag, but then again, we may have been using a resource intensive program. That may have been the culprit there. And actually, I'm trying to think that we may have been doing that through Zoom, Jitsi.
Okay.
And just sort of taking it off from there. No, that was when we were trying out with the one of the other ones, the
Google Meet or something.
Yeah, Google Meet. I think it's the one that we were doing with the Boy Scouts. But this is looking pretty smooth, I think.
It's just the hard part with the camera is I can rotate it so that my movements are more intuitive, but I never remember which way I put the camera in.
yeah, I do the same damn thing. It's like, generally if I've got the refractor, it's like, haha, if I just turn put the camera in upside down, it'll work, and then I get the left right mixed up, and like, wow, that.
Yeah. But what I'm thinking is, so like Ben,
screen
I could,
top left, and that'll take away all this other data that nobody needs to see.
Yep. But with YouTube, like, people could be asking questions on the YouTube live stream, and the only way for me to monitor that is if I pull it up on my phone or my iPad, right? And so that makes it. I mean, I could maybe have another window open showing the live stream, but that's going to tax my system, and it's going to use data on my, it's going to use bandwidth on my internet connection.
And it's going to be delayed. Well, it's going to be delayed either way.
So, but it helps to have somebody else in the meeting to field questions. They can actually see what's going on.
Yeah, and mind you, what I think what we could be doing is, if we've got somebody that's on with Jitsi, they can actually switch over to the YouTube app on another channel and questions.
Yep.
We can keep the thing live like that. And I got to pull up my PC and get this guy started, and then I can pull up your YouTube channel.
Right.
The problem with that is I'm going to have to mute the audio coming off.
Yep. Well, you could just lower the volume. Just use the volume slider. Yeah.
Let me grab this real quick. I'll have to run it off of Chrome.
God, but yeah, that works. If it's showing up good on your end. What's that?
I said you might be able to change the pointer to something that's more highly visible for using that to go around. Like your friend from Shreveport, when he came in, was able to make this pointer around to something that was very obvious, and that I've seen them before, where you can click it and it'll actually do a little bullseye type thing.
Huh. Okay. That might have been a PowerPoint feature.
Oh, if that was a PowerPoint feature, then that was a PowerPoint feature. I know in Windows you can change the pointer icons.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I'd probably have the third-party Mac app installation to do that.
Well, it might be, if you talk to them regularly, it might be worth asking, hey, how'd
you do it? Actually, I wonder. I'll go down to saturation instead of using that. Like if I drop the saturation on the moon, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you can change the.
Let's go crazy. Let's just sun color, burn the moon here.
Yeah, this is the one night out of the year where the moon is the same color as Mars, and you can tell. And they're the same size too. In fact, yeah, just go nuts. But yeah, that's the one thing that I've never taken advantage of is that you can actually, those bottom sliders won't affect the data that you're actually recording. So you can tweak those any way you want to make it look nice.
Yep.
For
Yep. Yep.
um,
Or if there's anything I need to, pull out that's hard to see, but like zooming in,
Yeah.
what Ben does. I mean, this really opens up the options. You don't have to pinch and zoom.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
going to be seeing limited, but still.
I don't want to say I've been telling Ben that this is what he needs to do for a while, but he just doesn't have a dedicated astro camera. So the only astro camera he's got is the iPhone.
Okay.
So he's doing good enough stuff, and he's doing
Yep.
really well.
Yep.
But his big thing is the astro camera he's been looking at intently is the Malin cam.
Right.
And he's trying to convince himself slowly but surely to buy that. And once he gets the Malin cam up, he's going to start doing this using the Malin cam on his Canon, which is incredible.
Yep.
Oh
yeah.
But the main thing there is, I think if you try to lower the exposure and boost the gain, we might get a smoother view here.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I mean,
and that way it won't look so choppy when you're slowing around. And obviously we're just looking at the mirror, and it doesn't need to be clean.
No.
Or we could just boost the gamma, which is a different setting down below, and that'll do
it. Yeah, because it's like I actually wondered if that would smooth it out. Just playing with the gamma. Yeah, see it.
Yeah, you lower the lower the frame rate, and that'll boost the smoothness, and then you boost it up with the gamma, and you lose some details that way. I think.
Yep, you do.
I mean, it'll still look pretty good. I'm trying to find the. Gosh, I'm still on the brass webpage. I was like, why can't I find all of your stuff? Switch account. There we are. Evidently, I've now got 3 YouTube accounts. One that does nothing. One that does. There we are. Evidently, I've now got 3. There we are.
No.
Gotta mute that shit. It's not coming up as nice on the my main computer, but that's probably because I've got some setting set. Oh, that's what I'm running off a battery, so I'm on low power. And if I plug it in, it'll get bright. Yeah,
I mean, I just went back to exposure gain, just normal.
It's
But yeah, for showing people, what something is, and and the only downside to just sharing the application screen is something I did with the Sun is then you can pull up Chrome and do some support outreach there. But technically, if we're running Jitsi, I could have somebody else share their screen and have it pulled up on Chrome or something, whatever web browser they use. You know what I mean? So like if we have something about the moon landing, whatever moon landing site it is,
I can probably look up Stellarium or whatever app that we've got, and I can show moon maps.
Yeah, that too.
If we're running Jitsi, and then I can just upload the thing to Jitsi, and if you're broadcasting the YouTube through Jitsi and not through your computer, then it'll be fine. It should be, I think.
Yeah, but I was trying to think of use cases for outreach and having information at our fingertips like this. It's a shame to waste it.
Well, I mean, we should have been doing this back in March or April.
Right.
And we just never got, I say we were just lazy and sort of tongue in cheek, but it's kind of a lot of work, and it takes some effort trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And then actually sitting around, and you get done with a long day that's just been hell on you, and then to think of sitting around and randomly computer for an hour or 2, it seems daunting. But yeah, I mean, it's doable, especially. I think I kind of like the Jitsi thing because you can change it off into what we're actually doing regularly anyway, which is just sort of hanging out, talking about the moon.
Yep.
It's not the sexiest target in the world, but you can definitely get some good information off of it.
Yep.
Especially if you once you start getting into the lunar certificates, you start finding really cool things out about the moon. Like the
see, I've only done Lunar 1.
yeah, but when you start looking at the swamps, I really like the swamps. And I think there's a really nice one. Oh gosh, up there by on the other side of the Apollo 11 side, I think.
Okay. But yeah, in terms of setting everything up. Now, the other thing I can do, I thought about was, now I forget how to do it. It's been too long. It's this, isn't it? Yeah. So if I just show the moon without my settings, right?
Hold on, let me. Gosh. Yeah, I've got to figure out what Jitsi room I'm in. Okay, I know it. Yeah, you definitely don't want to tell people where you are.
Yeah. But how's this look with just if I take away the ASI controls?
See, that looks good. I think it looks just fine. We can actually sit around point. It's more full screen.
Yep.
Let me check how that plays on the YouTubes. Yeah, on the YouTubes, that's playing beautifully.
Okay.
Let me see what we've got.
Because I may even get a little bit of detail on my end across this little hill.
I should be. Oh, I've got the wrong meeting. Yeah, I'm not trying to join. I just have to. Oh, hold on. I bet you I can find it through Messenger, can't I? Wait, what message?
I put it on my Facebook page or on my main profile.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah, just in my timeline.
Yeah, I'll find you.
Because I didn't want to post it to anything public and have random people popping in.
I don't think I've ever actually been to your page. Yeah, there we go.
Live streaming is on.
Oh, did that start a whole new?
Oh no, I just joined you from my PC and all that. I should still be able to talk to you while I'm switching over to various things.
Yep.
Now, if I can pull up Stellarium, and then let's see if we can get a moon map going.
Yeah,
if not, I don't think I've got a very good moon map.
I'm trying to remember the site that I bookmarked a long time ago.
Well, NASA's got a few, and I don't think I've got the annotations for.
What about like, yeah, I know Stellarium. Do you have Sky Safari on the desktop?
Yeah, I've got the version from Celestron.
Okay, because you can zoom in on the moon, and it should have crater information.
Excuse me, I've got Starry Night, not Sky Safari.
Yeah, Starry Night might. I don't know if the latest version does.
I'll bet you Stellarium just has a setting. I just have to dig for it.
Right.
This is SN7, and if not, then I'm pretty sure I just need to. God, all these things are so complicated compared to the ones that you used for the iPhone. Like I know the iPhone should be much less powerful than the all these other settings, but for some reason it's just so much easier to use.
On YouTube, it actually shows you in the side.
It shows me on the side of the picture. Yeah.
I've got video off on mine. That's why. Like if
you turned your video on, chances are you would appear on the side while we were sharing the screen too.
Yep.
So it looked more conversational.
Yeah.
And we can pull in for as many brass members or anybody that we want in here.
Yep.
To sit around and have a nice little discussion there. But you see now, it looks like the stream has when you popped out your video, it stalled the video stream on the moon, I think.
Okay.
Either that or running into that problem that Ben and I were having where it was laggy.
Right.
Well, that's a little bit better. So yeah, I think you probably are just limited to how much you can stream at one time.
Yeah.
And the resolution is definitely down a little bit on this, but that's just Jitsi. That's because it's limiting throughput.
Right.
Which is again kind of necessary.
Right.
Let me see if Starry Night is trying to load. There it is. Let's see if I can get it to load the moon. Good Lord, where am I? I think it's been so long, the thing is centered on the Pleiades.
Mm.
Zoom to hell in. There we are.
Image video quality. Yeah, I mean, I've got it cranked. Yeah, so did it, when I go away from...
Oh, I'm trying to...
I'm just watching YouTube at the same time.
Yeah, this one seems to... I can print a chart, perhaps, but no, I just need to find a... yeah, that's not what I want.
Because, like, if I could be showing this and then while I'm talking, somebody else can pull up a moon map.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah. It's just more informative. It's more interactive.
Yeah, well, the best I've got so far is Google Moon.
Okay.
Which is okay, but I'm not getting the data that I want.
Does it have labels?
Yeah, it doesn't have labels. I mean, I'm guessing
I gotta check.
there's some options here.
Let me get my plug for my laptop.
Yeah, this is it's. There's actually a really nice one from NASA that I found at one point. I just need to find out where I bookmarked it. Yeah, bookmarked. Oh, here it is. Moon Trek. I'm not sure. If this doesn't have labels, I'm going to be very upset. And I'm still. But I don't know that you could do this side by side. Actually, if you were streaming your screen, you could do a side by side with the pulling up a moon map on one side and the actual live view on the other. But again, that's going to get resource intensive, and that's
you don't want to tax the system more than it needs to be.
Let me see if I can pull up the labels. Actually, I'll share this link with you here in a second. Because it's a beautiful map. There it is. Apollo 11 site. Oh, it's not showing. It's not letting me put in the layers. Oh, there. Yeah, it's being. I'm just gonna have to sit around and play with it to figure out how to get the layers back up, or to. Yeah. Yeah, here we are. You just have to zoom in a lot for the layers to show up. But let's see, where are we? And it's not showing phase, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is going to be a
a pain in the ass. Well, I'm sure there's a setting in here somewhere that'll let me calculate phase.
Let's see.
But hold on, let me. So yeah, that's Cyrilus theophrasis. Okay, and if I can find out where my screen share button, yeah, there it is.
Because that's what I was wondering is how, like, do I have to relinquish?
Yeah, here we go. That is.
Yeah, there we go. That's perfect then.
Yeah, and if I can pull this guy over, and let's see.
Like, that's perfect because you don't need permission to share the screen. You can just go
No.
online
and if I
share
can
it.
find where Theophilus is.
Yeah,
But you see, the problem is that it's full.
Yeah, it's full. It's not phase.
There's Smithy. Oh God, it might be reversed.
Yep.
Presium.
Wait, is that it?
I know it's
Yeah.
it's like up here. There's Sinus Medi, so it's got to be down.
Because it's off of what?
It's right off of the center.
Find Nectaris, and you're in the right place.
There's Nubium. There's Funditatis.
So yeah,
so there's Nectaris. There it is. There we are. Theophilus. Yep. And we can pull up data about that and actually say that it was named after the Greek astronomer from 412 AD.
Yep.
Give you some ways to go on. Things like this. And this is a free download again. And actually, if you just use this as I think that I can still leave that on there and then go back to the live shot of the moon on you.
Yeah.
But it would be anybody. I don't think that it's sharing your view as the main view. What I think it's doing is like setting up as a speaker view. If you put it as the tile view, then you've got your moon on one side and my moon on the other. But in order to get to that moon, I have to actually, and I can't really match views.
Right.
But you can see exactly how much better the NASA data is from our own data.
Yep.
It's that's that view versus that view.
Yep.
Like this guy is that center mountain crater that's centered on you.
Yep.
But I mean, this has some nice little possibilities here.
Yep, we could use that. I mean, and it shows how far across and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we can do the. If I pull up this guy here, I can do calculate distances.
Okay.
So I can do like that to there. That line that I just sort of freehanded is going to tell me that is 135 kilometers.
Okay.
Or let's see, we can calculate the sun profile and everything like that. We can just do a line here so that we can say, well, how big is the area of the from Fractorius to that is going to be 337 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I'm in that mode, I can't drag it to have a nice thing. But you can get an idea of, say, the Apollo 15 site, which is going to be in here somewhere.
Yeah.
God, it might actually have the Apollo 15 data.
That's true.
Well, it's right in here somewhere. Yeah, Apollo 15 right here. You can sort of get a really good idea of how big. When you look at it through a telescope, you never really you see this small little mountain, and if you're lucky, you can see a crack. But you never get an idea for how good this particular valley that they found is. But you can now say that, yeah, that there is 20 kilometers just between those two little mountain ranges. So 20 kilometers is what? 0.8 miles or something like that. Or excuse me, 0.8 times 20 that doesn't sound right. You can do a quick conversion in your head. It's probably 18 miles, something like that. So yeah, that's the size of Baton Rouge. That's between us and
yeah, it's a good way to find a reference point. Yeah, here on Earth.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always like to reference things that people can visualize, and then you take that and well, if that there is, you know, from well, from where we are to the dark sky site is that.
Right. Yeah.
So you get a really nice area for how much room these Apollo astronauts had to play in, which is why even Apollo 15 was the first place they brought the lunar rover. So you keep backing it back out and back out and back out, and it looks like this tiny little dot in a mountain range, but nope, it was this huge area. Relatively speaking, I mean, the entire face of the moon that we're seeing from probably here. Well, we'll actually do a line. And this is, you can see that from one, where's this? This is Grimaldi. A little bit over here. This is the absolute furthest point. These mountain ranges here are if you've got a proper libration, you can see from here all the way to here, the edge of Smithy, probably about there, is going to be how much you can see of the moon, the face of the moon. So you can imagine a giant square going up around that. And it's going to tilt a little bit, and you're going to lose a little bit to libration. But you can see roughly 5,200 kilometers is the face of the moon that we're looking at. So we can figure that out and run a quick math problem on that. Hold on, I've got a... we prefer to use the metric because we're trying to be better people here. We're better scientists. Right. But yeah, that's roughly 3,200 miles. So I'm not sure if that's quite the span of the United States or not, but it's often compared to the span of the United States. So it probably goes a little bit further than that, because I think you can get, I don't know if you can get the whole of Smithy. You can get the edge of Smithy, and you can get the edge of Marginis. But, and all these guys are the, Orientalis is an impact based on the far side of the moon. So technically, that's on the dark side. Well, not the dark side, the far side. It's way over there, but you won't even be able to find it now. You might be able to pull Smithy up if you try. I think generally in the first quarter phase, you can grab a little bit more of this side in the same way as on the third quarter phase. You can pull the other one.
Just along the edge.
Yeah, just right on the bottom right edge, away from the terminator.
Yep.
You'll find it. The Granus is generally the largest full-size crater that you'll find down there. It's the one that's going to have the most nicest rebound peak in the large craters on the bottom, and it'll just be off to that. And by just off to that, I mean quite a ways. But so let's see if we can pull your I have a maximized view. Yeah, so this is it might have to be a little bit sharper to get the relief, but it'll be a little bit up, I think. Where's Lagranus? I
have to pull up my map here.
Yeah, we probably don't need to use the NASA map, but the one in phase is generally nicer, just because you get a better view of shadows. And I've always hated doing that with the lunar maps and trying to identify things, because you definitely get a different look depending on where you are in the night sky, or where the moon is in its phase in relation to the rest of the sky. Or the craters look different than maps do, because maps are always assuming that it's broad daylight noon, except for when you get the hand-drawn maps, which are not, And that's why the things like the Rugal maps are highly prized still, is because they do really good shading. And they're able to do the mental calculations to draw an entire map of the moon as if it were full moon, but still have the shading and the terrain.
Right.
Which I guess you can do with elevation maps, but when you start working in those greens and reds, it always looks so much more complicated to me.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah. It's nice for geologists, but it's not for us.
Yeah, it's like when they show Mercury that way. It's like, no, I don't want to look at Mercury that way.
Well, to be fair, I don't really want to look at Mercury because Mercury is just it's boring as shit. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got it not safe for kids already, so that's
okay. Yeah, I gotta remember not to do that one. But yeah, that's every time we load it up, it's like, oh yeah, it's educational, but no, it's not made for kids, and no, kids probably shouldn't watch this.
Yeah.
But oh shoot, I never changed it back to focusing on you.
All you gotta do is stop sharing, right? That's all you gotta do.
See, I don't think I'm sharing my screen, actually. I think it's just...
I'm looking at YouTube.
Yeah, I think what it's done is because, I had it on speaker view.
Okay.
Yeah. And somehow I took control of the meeting. You can do the exact same thing.
Right.
You just pull it onto, you just had it on the outside of Jitsi, but if you pull up the Jitsi app, you can throw it over to speaker view and then select whoever you want looking at it. I killed my screen share, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. But yeah, if we want to keep the moon track instead of my happy smiling face. Yeah. And then from that, make sure that it's still, that should be a split view. In a second, it'll, see, that's full view again. Let's see. There's
an app, so it.
Yeah, I think I can pin you down. You're on the app, you say?
No, I'm on the web. But I'm sharing ASI cap.
Yeah. Yeah. There should be a way to make you the speaker.
Let's see.
And I'm trying to keep a view of the. I'm running my moon map off of tabs. So in order to see what it's looking like on the YouTube, having to split back and forth. Like right now, it should be your shot of the moon.
YouTube's still showing yours.
So.
Yeah, I can see my moon. I can see that in the bottom though.
Yeah, I think the oh shoot, I just paused it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't on your screen. I can see my view of the moon. So if you change to, it's not a double click, is it?
No.
Yeah. There it goes.
This is now going to be a shot of me and you, or me on one side, you on the, or is it just the moon?
It's just, it's just my moon.
Okay, so it's only sharing one screen at a time. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I was hoping that I could share my little moon map in the corner, or that we could share the split screen view.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the Ben Toman eclipse effect.
The eclipse effect from the
roof.
Oh. Yeah, this is the that's a penumbral shot.
You can see it's
a little bit. Shot.
You can see it's a little bit dimmer.
We're starting to. You're just stopping it down just enough. Let's pull back up the actual Jitsi thing so that I can be live in real time and not be staring at myself with a delay.
But I mean that, for what we're doing, that's all we really need. Somebody can share their screen with some information and talk about it, and then go back to what we're showing.
Yeah, we can pop up a live screen like that,
Yep.
or the like I said, if you shared the entire computer screen,
Yeah,
you
that's what I
should
was
be able to do. I'll try that for a second. Yeah, we'll share the entire screen, and then what I can do is just put that down on one side, and this pop up the mirror map on the other. It's just
Right.
going to be very intensive in terms
Yep.
of resources.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know how far we can go in on this.
Yeah, I don't really
And
admire him very much.
yeah, and Ben is good at it. And the main thing here is just making sure that it centers. And Christ.
Oh. It'd be nice if I could splurge on the hand controller for this. Just sit back in my chair and control it with the hand controller.
For which one? The well, you can always buy one of those little $100 things for that, $50, $60 now that allow you to control the mount from your
phone.
Yeah.
But, well,
which
so
I got it. It's awesome.
I talked to the guys at Sky Safari about that, and they say it communicates through the hand controller. The mount that I've got, it still has to communicate through the hand controller. That's where the data is. So with this particular mount, I still need the hand controller.
Oh yeah, well that sucks. But yeah, I think I'm rocking a whole bunch of Celestron stuff. So I basically
I'm gonna test something out here. If I don't yank the laptop off the table,
you can kill my view of while I'm trying to figure this out. But I think this is just going to be somewhere in here is going to be labels.
Well,
that's planet living. Yeah, well, that's the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not going to give us crater labels yet. I bet you there's bound to be a setting on here somewhere.
There's Jupiter.
Oh, did you pull up a new one?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you kind of had to, didn't you? But Jupiter's a little bit better. I can definitely find some cool labels on Jupiter.
It's just I don't have the aperture to.
Let's see. Are we still running? Yeah. So this is the view. Oh, gosh, how to close the moon track down? And then we've got you on one side, and yeah, if you pull up your gamma a little bit, and the cool thing is if you're using fire capture,
Right.
you can actually just pull up the ephemerides on the side, and it'll show you where the position of the moons are. And I fall in and out of love with Fire Safari all the damn time. I really do. Or fire capture, because sometimes it doesn't seem to do the frame rates quite well enough, and I get really upset. And then sometimes it does it perfectly and it nails it. Looks like we might actually. There's a GRS transit in progress right now. If you have the ability to zoom, what are you using?
I don't ASI cap. I don't know where the.
No. Which scope is it?
The 4.5. So it's not gonna.
Well, yeah, you can pull up. You can get close enough to take a look at the GRS. But that's going to be from left to right. It looks like you're. Oh, wow! There's an asteroid right next to it too.
the hard part with this is the movement, and I lose it really quick.
Yeah, that's always those shaky mounts do it. You're going to be Callisto, Io, Europa, Jupiter, and then Ganymede. But Callisto's going to be way out.
Okay.
Let me get back to my Jitsi meeting, and I'll kill my screen share. No, I guess you already did.
So there's, I don't know
No.
if it's Callisto way out.
Yeah, that's the. I'm not sure. Yeah, I need to. That's better. But yeah, if you crank up the gamma, we can find the moons. Or the gain, excuse me.
Yeah, actually,
I
gamma.
used gain and gamma. It's pretty much
Interchangeably.
interchangeably for so long that it actually is a big deal difference between the two. The gain is going to introduce signal to the system. The gamma will just boost the bright levels, so to speak, the white balance or the screen brightness, more or less.
Yeah. But I mean, usually, well, you don't, because the exposure suddenly gets jumpy. But yeah, if you bump gain.
Yeah, we are. Now you got the moons going up. But yeah, that's why I always, if I just want to look at the moons, I'll just crank the gain all the way up, as opposed to exposure, because otherwise you get everything choppy. It looks like Callisto is really far down on its orbit, so that guy will come in to focus here in a second.
It's down here.
Yeah. And actually, there is a between. What did I say that was? Ganymede and Europa. There is a small asteroid called Almathea, which you're definitely not going to get on this, just because. Yeah. See, well, there he is?
There it is.
Like way the hell down there.
Yeah.
So he's probably at the edge of his 17-day orbit.
Yeah, that's way out there.
Yeah, he always is. It's gosh. Somehow I keep losing all of my information on my phone, and somehow I've killed my FaceTime or my Face ID code. So I'm having to.
Oh.
Redo my Face ID. Because I'm sick of having to actually put in a code every time I unlock my phone. Like some schmuck from 2017. Okay. And this is still doing pretty nicely, I think. And very hopefully I didn't input codes while I wasn't paying attention.
That's got to be GRS there. I bumped the saturation a little bit. There's a little bit of orange right there. That's got to be GRS.
Go ahead and clip the, let's get a field of view thing, like put a right box.
ROI.
Yeah, ROI. And let's see if we can get it sharpen it up the focus a little bit, and that'll just blow out the Jupiter. But oh gosh, yeah, some of the ways that it does that is kind of iffy.
But yeah, that's got to be right there. There's a little bit of orange. That's got to be GRS right there in the middle.
It's not quite well. Yeah, keep zooming in a little bit. Yeah, that's like
right there.
I think that's a little too fuzzy from my perspective. I think it's killed a little too well. No, that's it. Yeah, it's fading, but you get the little bits of it that it comes in
here and there. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what all I can play with to get a better.
If you flip the ADC setting, you'll get the reds and blues will stand out. But you're not going to be able to, and that'll help you find out some of the feature details. but it's definitely not going to be. It's not going to look good, even if you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll just mess with the color. If you throw you can kill the debayer thing, and sometimes that'll help you focus because you're not getting that red-blue crossover.
Where's the debayer at?
All right, if you go back to the main screen, you'll see that red, blue, green box.
Yeah.
Over to your left screen in the image control screens for the no, like over in the black, like hold it just next to the black part. Yep, click that, and that's going to turn off your Bayer algorithm. And it'll just it'll make it kind of look black and white, but you'll get squares on it.
All right. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, and basically that's as long as you've got record raw data on, it should be recording just the without the Bayer pattern.
Right.
Which whenever you pull it up in the stacking program, it'll automatically reinterpret data as long as you got that selected. You can deselect it, of course, but why?
Right.
But so it saves the data as black and white, which is what's going to shrink down the data, and which will allow you to write faster, and so you'll collect more data. Also, I'm pretty sure you'll actually get better frame rate as long as you're collecting raw data, but I couldn't say for sure. But yeah, if you're popping up the saturation, you should the red spot should come out a little bit more, although it'll still look kind of pink. Maybe turn the gamma down actually a little bit.
Yeah, I was playing with I was noticing the edges get clipped, like what Registax does with some of Ben's original images. You know how it gets warped?
Yeah, well, Ben's gets warped because he's looking through an eyepiece, and I think that the eyepiece warps it. But
well, I noticed that with overprocessing in Registax.
Yeah, there's definitely, you need a lighter hand than you want in Registax. But that's true of everything. That's like the processing, the details on the Mars. I kept on complaining that oh, it doesn't look that good. It doesn't look that good. Anyway, it looks fine, but no, if you look at the polar ice caps before you start processing it, it actually looks like an ice cap. And then by the time I got all the wavelets done, it looks like a little blobby white mess. It's like, well, no, that's not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But after years of trying, I finally got it to look white instead of pink, which is progress.
Yeah.
And actually, I was talking to James the other night when we were out at the observatory, and he's having so much fun with his Stellina, and he was saying that he can't really use his C11 much lately because his back is killing him. He's like, well, if you want to borrow it to go do some planetary work, that'd be fine. It's like, yes, I do want to go borrow this to go do some planetary work, as a matter of fact. I very much want to see what this guy can do to Mars, because an 11 HD can just murder the moon, and I imagine it's got to do some nice stuff for Mars. Plus, he's got that feather touch focuser on there too.
Oh, he does. Okay.
And oh yeah, he's got a Moonlight feather touch focuser, and he's got a CPC, so I won't have that mount shake when focusing anymore. So yeah, man, I definitely want to borrow that. I'm gonna have to get with him probably after the storms pass this weekend and see what we do.
That's another reason why I got out here, because I'm like, man, I'm gonna have withdrawals.
Yeah, well,
this view's marginally better.
God, I think I was out 3 days last week imaging. I went out with Ben and I went out to the DS for one night. And I got a little visual stuff done, and I got some imaging done on the North America. And then Ben called up and said, "Hey, we have a volunteer appreciation night on Tuesday." So I was like, "All right." So I went over and I did that, and I finished up my my urban, and I shot the lagoon, and then we had members playtime on Saturday night, and I went over and, well, at that point I'm between AL system awards right now, because I've finished up all the stuff I can do at the observatory, and I haven't learned how to do the double star yet.
A decent view of it finally.
Yeah, that's a really good view, and I think the red spot's coming up beautifully.
I don't know why it's cleaning up a little bit. unless it's just getting a little bit higher in the sky.
It might be some altitude, and it might just be that the winds have died down, and so you're getting some nicer views that way, perhaps.
Let's see what happens with the capture.
Or maybe the temperature has changed the focus ever so slightly.
Yep.
But it looks like your Jitsi video is paused a little bit.
I tried to capture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would go for a capture and work on that. That looks good enough that the details will come out in the end. Check your histogram just to make sure it's in the right place. Because what looks
it's a little bit low.
Oh no, that's fine. It's a little bit low, but that's good enough. You can boost that with in post. But wow, those I probably would have changed it around and boosted the gain up to like 200 and the exposure way down.
Mm-hmm.
And that would give you a better frame rate than the what have you got down there?
It was around 100, 104.
Yeah, 104. Well, 104 is fine. God, I think the original camera that I got was a Next Image 5 or something like that, and that had something like a frame rate of 10 or 12. I think I regularly got 7 frames per second as my frame rate.
What about that? Let me see a little bit more.
It's gonna look fuzzy, but it'll clean up very nice when you do it in post.
Yeah.
Drop your gain down to 200 and work on that. Work on the exposure from there.
Well, now I'm gonna screw it up and lose Jupiter.
Yeah, that's the. Well, you've still got your ROI on, I think.
Yeah.
So it's probably if you're having trouble finding it, that kill that and then center it up and then redo their ROI.
Yeah.
But yeah, picked up an ADC to try and combat some of get that little extra tweak on the colors and the processing. And it turns out every time you flip that bar around, it throws the planet all over the place. So it becomes very, very difficult to use, especially if you're using a shaky mount, like a single arm mount. Yep. Seem to have lost the program completely there for a second. See, did we lose you entirely? Yeah, we seem to have lost Cord. So we're gonna have to figure out what to do here. What's up? I think Coy will probably come back here in a second. Oh. There he is.
Yeah, I don't know why it dropped on me.
It just did a weird thing, I guess. I have no idea. Sometimes life is funny like that.
Let's see what I can get out of that.
So yeah, you gotta reshare the.
Oh yeah. Let me go to. Let's see, application window. There we go. I'm just gonna do another one with that, just to see what I can get.
Yeah, that. So if you just want to get your good Jupiter image, you might want to go ahead and log out and just focus on that. But yeah, I'd say keep the gain at about 200 and boost your exposure a little bit more. Or actually, that looks fine.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've ever since I've been playing with my newer cameras, I've been liking round numbers. But yeah, really, that you just look at the histogram and that'll give you your feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm by no means an expert.
Yeah, but you've been putting out pretty good. Like Mars, like I like how yours are just like I don't like this Mars. I'm going, man, if I could only get that view of Mars.
Yeah, that's just how it works. Like, God, Scott was doing the same thing to me 2 years ago. Is that he'd be pulling up these fabulous deep sky objects and be like, "Yeah, I don't like it." Like, dude, you don't understand. I can barely get like a ring nebula to look like a ring, and here you are shooting these DSOs with these beautiful star fields. So the more you play with it, the better you get at it. But no, and mind you, the Mars looks okay. I just when I'm framing Mars and I'm looking at these NASA maps, and so I know what it can look like. And then I've got a couple of I definitely wouldn't bring the gain up that far. You're gonna introduce.
No, I was looking at the moons.
Oh yeah, if you grab a single screen,
them.
grab a single screen cap of that. That'll look good. You don't need. Yeah, you don't just press the left thing that looks like a camera icon, and it'll take a single picture with no limit, I think.
Yeah.
And that way you can. I mean, if you really want to, you can take that and then process it out and reintroduce the moons. There's a really nice, complicated way of doing that using masks and brightening up the background to reintroduce the moons afterwards. But it's almost not worth it.
I'll tell you one thing I've done, and it's not true to what the moon looks like, but early on, what I would do is I would get the basic capture of Jupiter with all the bands and everything, and then crank the exposure just a little bit more to get the moons to come out. And then I would paste that over top of my image of Jupiter, crop out Jupiter, and then just copy and paste into another layer and smooth out the edges of the moons.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how you do it. The latest way I figured out how to do it is using you put in a mask or basically you create a clone image of Jupiter, and then you make Jupiter completely opaque.
Yeah.
You put that as a mask over your original image, and then you crank up the levels, and that'll bring up the brightness of the dark things, which would normally blow out Jupiter.
Right.
Come up, and then you paste Jupiter on top, or you remove the mask, and Jupiter's still there.
Right.
But it's a lot easier than it sounds. In PixInsight, you just use a range mask and a clone tool and adjust the levels accordingly. It's a very simple process. Ooh, that color's getting better. See, I like that more naturalistic color.
Yeah.
That'll make a good. Yeah, they'll set the video for like 2 minutes, and that'll avoid you from having a motion blur. Apparently, you can do up to like 6 to 8 minutes if you know how to use the WinJupos, which I've got WinJupos to work exactly once, but I was only using a 2-minute video, so it didn't do much.
Right.
But the derotation, and I'm still not sure if the derotation has to do with field rotation or orbital rotation, or revolution.
How do they do the animations?
The animations are done actually by you can do that in pip.
That's what I was seeing. Yeah.
What you do is you take individual images that are like 5-10 minutes apart.
Okay.
Over the course of like 2 hours, or normally it takes like an hour and a half for the GRS to transit, or any of the moons to transit.
Okay.
So like an hour and a half, 2 hours, you can watch the planet. Depending on your detail, you can watch the planet turn and the moon cross, or the moon shoot out to the other side.
But in pip, it's like a batch.
Yeah. Well, basically, you individually stack and process these, 60 or so images that are like 5 minutes apart. So you end up with like 50 of these, well, however many images you get total, which are evenly spaced preferably, and properly oriented, so you don't get that weird twisty motion thing like I had going.
Right.
And then you throw them all into the main file for PIP, and you select that as an animation, and it'll create a GIF for you. But actually, you can do the exact same thing I found out natively in GIMP. So that you pull up all the images and you make them into layers, and then there's a special tool that says animate layers, and you animate all the layers, which I was going to try and do with my shots of Comet Neowise from the Dark Sky site, and see if I could get something cool. But it turns out those DSLR images are just so massive in size that when it was trying to pull out the image, it was trying to pull them up in full size as the raw images. And it was too much data for my little computer to handle.
Right.
So yeah, if you could probably do that pretty well with the, gosh, I guess the video is, the YouTube is completely stopped now, isn't it?
Has it? Let me see.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was wondering why I was freeze frozen. Chances are.
Oh, is it because when I started?
Yeah, you probably.
I have to restart the. Will it use the same key?
Hold on. Stop the. Let's see.